Hello, welcome to Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist. Now with new joke technology. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, Certified Forensic Humorist at large, but I'm losing weight. Welcome to Critical Joke Theory, episode 95. Now with new joke technology and 13% more snark, and still open caption for the humor impaired. Rick Buckler died on February 17th after a brief illness. That's why I recommend going commando. You never know what's in your briefs. He was 69 years old. The Jam's drummer's death was confirmed by his family in a statement to the BBC saying the rocker, quote, passed away peacefully on Monday evening in Woking after a brief illness with family by his side. Was it the brief illness or was it the family? The Jam were formed in Woking, Surrey in 1972, while its three founders were in secondary school and went on to record a number of hits including That's Entertainment and Town Called Malice, which have appeared in a number of film soundtracks in the ensuing decades as shorthand for early 1980s new wave. The band released 6 full-length albums before suddenly breaking up in 1982. Buckler said in an interview with the Strange Brew magazine, quote, I'm not the greatest in the world, but I did take a leaf out of Ringo Starr's book. Quote, he realized that the song is the star. None of us were really outstanding musicians in a lot of ways, but I think we were trying to be as innovative as we possibly could so that we could work together as a band. Rest in peace, Rick. Not everyone thought you were entertainment, but you'll find no malice here. Korean star Kim Se-ron was found dead in her home on February 16th. She was 24. The 24-year-old Netflix star died by suicide according to multiple outlets, including the New York Times, the Korea Times, and the Yonhap news agency, citing law enforcement. Quote, we believe she made an extreme choice and planned to handle it as a suicide, close quote, police told reporters according to the later outlet. Se-ron started her acting career as a child in 2009, once among the brightest stars on South Korea's vibrant movie and television scenes. Kim struggled to find work after a 2022 drunk driving incident for which she was later fined in court. So she drank 32 ounces. Keep up. Online posts in South Korea were notoriously harsh toward Kim. Newspapers and websites criticized her whenever she was seen partying with friends or when she complained about her lack of work and nasty comments on social media. She was even criticized for smiling while filming an independent movie last year. But as soon as she killed herself, those same outlets were harsh on those who bullied her. Now that's the lame mean media. Rest in peace, Aaron. Would it kill the media to not be so mean? Canadian actor Kevin Major Howard died on Valentine's Day. His family told TMZ on February 15th. He was 69. Howard's family told TMZ that he died at a Las Vegas hospital surrounded by loved ones on February 14th. Surrounded by loved ones? Sure. They all live him now. According to the outlet, Howard had been in the hospital in the weeks before his death due to respiratory illnesses. His official cause of death, however, has not yet been determined. Howard was born in Montreal, Canada on January 27, 1956, appeared in several TV shows after moving to Los Angeles later in life to act. According to his IMDb page, Howard's most notable roles include starring in MacGyver, Magnum PI, and Miami Vice. Howard was best known for his role as Rafterman in the 1987 film Full Metal Jacket. He also appeared in Death Wish 2 in 1982 and Sudden Impact in 1983. Rest in peace, Kevin. Death Wish granted. Actor Peter Navy Tuasopo died from heart complications on February 10th. He was 61. Peter appeared in many films during his career, including The Fast and the Furious and Street Fighter. Before Peter began his acting career, he had a brief stint in the NFL in the late 1980s after he was signed as a center as an undrafted free agent by the now defunct St. Louis Cardinals National Football League team. Later that season, he played center 3 games with the Los Angeles Rams, who signed him again in 1988 and in 1989. But he was released both times before the start of their season. The way the Rams kept screwing him seems like they got the release. He began his acting career in 1991 in the sports film Necessary Roughness, where he was typecast as a center even though he couldn't play center, before appearing in 2 episodes of the short-lived sitcom Down the Shore and Danger Theater, both in 1993. He then appeared in the 1994 Steven Seagal film On Deadly Ground before landing one of his biggest roles, playing E. Honda opposite Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie Minogue in the film adaptation of the video game Street Fighter, released the same year. Another release. Rest in peace, Peter. You've been released for the last time. Character actor Bruce French, who was known to TV audiences as Father Lonigan, the blind priest on the NBC daytime drama Passions, died Friday in Los Angeles of complications from Alzheimer's disease. He was 79. The Iowa native born July 4, 1945, racked up over 150 acting credits according to his IMDb page. Debuting on the big screen in the 1974 thriller Man on the Swing, Bruce French segued to television in 1976 with a role in the miniseries Helter Skelter. His wide array of early guest appearances, including the series The Waltons, Soap, Dallas, Family Ties, Fame, The A-Team, Knots Landing, and the original Magnum P.I. And his film resume began to grow with roles in dramas Coming Home, featuring Oscars winners Jane Fonda and Jon Voight, and Blood Brothers with Richard Gere in 1978. French's career remained chock full of TV guest spots, including Newhart, L.A. Law, Matlock, Highway to Heaven, Moonlighting, Cheers, Falcon Crest, Picket Fences, Star Trek Voyager, and The West Wing. He had the recurring role as Jim Burns in the 2 seasons of FX's drama The Riches opposite Minnie Driver and Eddie Izzard. And other film appearances included Mr. Mom, Fletch, Murphy's Romance, Legal Eagles, Wildcats, Jurassic Park 3, Mr. Deeds, Thank You for Smoking, Beautiful Boy, and Mission Impossible 3. But it was his 9-season stint on the aforementioned Passions that he is most recognized for. Damn, what wasn't he in? Currently, he can be seen in his coffin. Rest in peace, Bruce. End scene. At least 2 people have died after 2 small planes crashed mid-air Wednesday in Arizona. The 2 aircrafts, one a Lancer and the other a Cessna, collided while, quote, upwind of runway 12, close quote, the National Transportation Safety Board said. I guess if they were downwind, they could have smelt the other aircraft. Each plane was carrying 2 passengers, and the 2 who died were on the same aircraft, according to a spokesperson for the town of Marana. The other 2 people were uninjured. The Cessna did not successfully land, and the Lancer impacted terrain near runway 3, and a post-impact fire ensued. The FAA and the NTSB are investigating the incident, with the NTSB leading the investigation. The Marana Regional Airport is temporarily closed as the investigation continues. The Marana Regional Airport is an uncontrolled field, meaning it does not have an operating air traffic control tower, and pilots utilize a common traffic advisory frequency to announce their position to other pilots who are in the vicinity, also known as I Spy with My Little Eye. A Delta Airlines flight from Minneapolis crashed, turned upside down, and caught on fire on the runway at Toronto Pearson International Airport while attempting to land Monday, the latest in a string of passenger plane crashes since December. All 80 people on board the CRJ 900 twin jet aircraft survived, but 18 people were injured. Delta said each of the 80 passengers will be paid $30,000. 80 passengers, 30K. 80 cases against Trump in 30 days. Coincidence? Video shows the rear landing gear of the jet buckling and the right wing shearing away in a fireball after the plane landed hard on the runway. The Musk-Trump administration have taken steps to secure the safety of air travel and gain the public's trust by firing a little less than 400 random FAA employees. I feel better knowing that Trump is on top of it like a non-consensual encounter. Pope Francis has developed pneumonia in both lungs, the Vatican said Tuesday, after new tests showed a further complication in the condition of the 88-year-old pontiff that raised concerns about his ability to fight off the infection. The Vatican said Francis's respiratory infection also involves asthmatic bronchitis, which requires the use of cortisone antibiotic treatment. Laboratory tests, chest x-ray, and the Holy Father's clinical condition continue to present a complex picture, the Vatican said. Nevertheless, the Pope, who had the upper lobe of his right lung removed as a young man, is in good spirits and is grateful for the prayers for his recovery. Prayers are nice, but great Western medicine is better. While I wish the Pope well at 88 years of age and at least 20 cardinals waiting for his job, all I'm saying is I got dibs on that Pope mobile. Canada defeated USA Thursday to win the first ever Four Nations face-off hockey tournament, capping what had become a heated and politically charged event instigated by convicted felon, unregistered sex offender, public housing resident Donald Trump with claims that he will make Canada a 51st state among other ignorant statements. An overtime goal from Connor McDavid sealed the 3-2 win for Canada at the TD Garden Arena in Boston, where ticket prices soared in the days ahead of the hotly anticipated finale. Ordinarily, there would be a friendly wager between countries like maple syrup for skin bronzer, but everyone knows that Trump would never honor a deal. President Trudeau took a dig at Trump on Twitter, saying, "You can't take our country and you can't take our game, but you can take your tyranny and shove it up your A?" New York Judge Dale Ho refused to dismiss its corruption case against Eric Adams, but delayed the Democratic New York City mayor's criminal trial indefinitely. The trial had been scheduled for April 21st. In a written ruling, the U.S. District Judge Dale Ho in Manhattan said he would appoint former U.S. Solicitor General Paul Clement to help him decide whether to let the Justice Department drop the case while leaving open the possibility of bringing it again. Ho's decision prolongs uncertainty over the case amongst Adams, seen here grimacing because Trump is all up in that ass. Enrique Tarrio, the former Proud Boys granted clemency by convicted felon unregistered sex offender public housing resident Donald Trump last month, was arrested outside the U.S. Capitol on Friday and charged with assaulting a female protester. Tarrio was handcuffed, searched, and put in a police van by United States Capitol police officers after he appeared on Capitol Hill with several other members of the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers for a press conference. The police said he was charged with assault. It takes a proud boy to assault a woman. Capitol Police said in a statement that the incident happened around 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time when, quote, our officers witnessed a woman, a counter-protester, put a cell phone close to a man's face, close quote, while they were both walking. Quote, then the officers witnessed a man strike the woman's phone and arm, close quote. Asked why he'd been detained, Tarrio told onlookers that, quote, a lady stuck her phone in my face, so I blanked her phone, close quote. Tarrio was later heard to say, Donald Trump, stand back and stand by. Somebody's got to get me out of jail. The Associated Press is suing 3 Trump administration officials Friday over access to presidential events citing freedom of speech and asking a federal judge to stop the blocking of its journalists. The named officials are White House Chief of Staff Susan Wiles, Deputy Chief of Staff Taylor Budovich, and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. I almost forgot that there were other people in the administration besides Musk. The lawsuit was filed Friday in United States District Court in Washington, D.C., 10 days after the White House began restricting access to the news agency. The AP says its case is about an unconstitutional effort by the White House to control speech. In this case, not changing its style from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, as convicted felon, unregistered sex offender, public housing resident Donald Trump did last month with an executive order and a new Sharpie. Quote, the press and all people in the United States have the right to choose their own words and not be retaliated against by the government, close quote, the AP said in its lawsuit. Quote, this targeted attack on the AP's editorial independence and ability to gather and report the news strikes at the very core of the First Amendment, close quote. This court should remedy it immediately. Trump said on Tuesday, we're going to keep them out until such a time as they agree that it's the Gulf of America, that I fixed inflation, and that my father liked me. And finally, I Said-It-Torial. The Musk-Trump administration continues to wreak havoc upon federal agencies in an attempt to bring down the price of groceries, gas, and rent. Their claim continues to be they're finding waste, fraud, and abuse everywhere, except in Musk's 100-plus government contracts. Nothing to see there. Okay, waste and abuse are subjective, but fraud is a crime. So where are the prosecutions? If Trump doesn't know who the fraudsters are, how can he pardon them and add them to his cabinet? The only good thing about Musk and Trump using a chainsaw when a scalpel is needed is that people are going to learn what government does and how it works, one disastrous chunk at a time. Initially, Musk, Trump, and the DOGE, Donald Obliterates Government Employees, attacked several agencies under the pretense of correcting DEI, Donald Exploits Ignorance, hiring practices. The Trump administration axe fell in Richland, Washington last Thursday as some employees of the Department of Energy lost their jobs as part of the federal staff reductions led by the Department of Government Efficiency. Do you know what the Department of Energy does? I do. Now, thanks to Project 25's version of privatized Schoolhouse Rock. Aside from providing electricity for 3 cities, the safety engineers and environmental scientists are responsible for the containment and cleanup of the nuclear disaster at that facility. You may not know about it because it's being contained, unlike Musk. Once they realized the error of their ways, or mistakes, as I call them, they tried to rehire their workers, but couldn't find their contact information. Sounds familiar? No? It will. The Musk-Trump administration is attempting to rehire officials with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or the USDA, who worked on the government response to bird flu before being fired last weekend. The terminations came as the latest outbreak of the bird flu has wreaked havoc on poultry and cattle farms, causing egg prices to skyrocket and raising concerns among public health experts. The layoffs were a part of a cost-cutting mission across the U.S. government by President-not-elected Musk. Trump also fired General Charles Q. Brown, the Joint Chief of Staff, the country's senior-most military advisor. Trump also fired Naval Chief Lisa Franchetta. Both of them are to be replaced with deserving white men. Trump also cut 10% of the National Institute of Health's Alzheimer's staff. So who's going to tell Trump that he has all of the symptoms? Mental decline, difficulty thinking and understanding, delusion? Come on, he's got to know. Someone's got to tell him. Experienced non-political essential personnel are resigning all over the place. GSA engineers, Department of Justice prosecutors, Social Security administrators, all resigning rather than help Musk dismantle the federal government by carrying out immoral and possibly illegal orders. Kash Patel was confirmed as the FBI director, and now the FBI and the DOJ have eliminated the National Police Misconduct Database. So, now officers that are known abusers can move around the country and no one will know their history of violence until they harm or kill someone else. Because one George Floyd wasn't enough. Trump is attempting to take over the United States Postal Service also, because the Washington Post was mean to him, and it's owned by Bezos, who also owns Amazon, and Trump wants the USPS to charge Amazon more money to deliver their packages. Trump also wants to cripple voting by mail. If he succeeds, he will forever put his stamp on mail delivery. Trump is also in charge of negotiating a deal between the PGA and LIV Golf. LIV is the Saudi Golf League that holds some of their tournaments at some of Trump's golf courses. Trump is trying to blackmail Ukraine into giving up half of their mineral rights and their land, and the only thing Russia has to do is praise Trump. Trump has accused Ukraine of starting the war. Here's Trump talking out of his neck.
I think I have the power to end this war, and I think it's going very well. But today I heard, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal.
Trump is not going to stop. We will have to stop him. Whether we use the Third Amendment, the First Amendment, or something in the middle, we have to take a shot and not miss this opportunity to work together to protect our democratic republic. Yeah, I Said-It-Torial. I'm G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist, now with new joke technology and 13% more snark. Thank you for watching Critical Joke Theory, where our motto is, I purport, you decide if you decided right. If you enjoyed it, please like and share it. And please check out Done Way Past Funny on Knob TV, YouTube, and Spark TV. Also watch The Church of Last Resort, streaming live on Sundays on YouTube at 9 a.m. Eastern. Feel free to check out my website at www.sogdfunny.com to access more of my content. Be safe out there, and don't beat the crazies. Critical Joke Theory with your host, G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist. Now with new joke technology.